nation. Yes, I agree. So do you have like a work plan, and do you have like a timing, and do you have milestones that you want to achieve, and do you have something against which you will compare that you are still on the right track and you are making the impact that you want?
Yes, we certainly have. We certainly have milestones. We have work plans, detailed work plans. I mean, because we've got strong project management, people who understand project management on the team. So every work study group has detailed work plans. Every single work study group has a budget. Our meetings are very strategic, but they do your head in. By the time you finish, you two know that you've been in a strategy session. It's a very serious, actually, on a serious note, this is very serious business. And everyone is committed. We put in long hours. I can't even lie to you. We're working long hours. We are putting in, and one of the major milestones is the school taking off in January, end of January. It's a major milestone for us. And then there'll be others that you will see. Once the executive director comes on board, you're going to be hearing him. There's going to be more information sharing. And, because that will be the face of one of the faces of the move of the initiative. Yes.
Okay, so is there a website that we can go to?
Yes, website www.fixpolitics.org.
Okay, I hope everybody on the system is hearing that, www.fixpolitics.org. So and if anybody...
SPPGs, if you want to find out about the school. So, SPPG.
SPPG. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to find out specifically about the school, you go to /SPPG, www.fixpolitics.org. I would suggest that we all go to that website. We walk through the website, find out what's going on in there, and see how we can all get involved in one thing or the other, or add value one way or the other. This is for me, a ready-made platform that people can get onto and begin to play their own part in this whole thing. So roughly, how long do you think it would take for the right kind of leadership to emerge in Nigeria? The Chinese, they have I don't know if you've studied their system, but I'm sure they have a system whereby you get into politics at the ground floor. You're like a counselor. Maybe they do an interview or so, I don't know, but you get in there at the ground floor. And from then, to proceed to the next level, your performance, that ground floor, takes you to compete for local government chair. You become a local government chair, 4, 5, 6 years, your performance as a local government chair takes you to zonal government chair. Another 4, 5, 6 years, your performance as zonal government chair takes you to governor of a province. By this time, you are probably governing 50 to 100 million people. Your performance as a governor takes you to some kind of coordinator of 4, 5, 6 governors. By the time you're a coordinator of 4, 5, 6 governors, there's only about 5 or 6 of you. And at that time, between the 5 or 6, they know the first 3, out of which one can become president of China. So at every level, you are evaluated, your performance is seen by everybody, and everybody can evaluate your performance, and therefore the pyramid goes like so. And that's why the man was laughing that George Bush can never be president, cannot even be a local government chairman, because his performance as a councillor would have pushed him to nursery school, somewhere like that. He didn't say much about Barack Obama, but he picked on George Bush. So how long do you think it will take us to get to a place where, okay, everybody who is a governor or everybody is a local government chairman, we know they're good people. Can you hazard a guess?
If I want to be optimistic, it's not going to be less than 8 to 10 years, if I want to be optimistic, and I'll tell you why. Part of our goals for the School of Politics, Policy and Governance is to, over the next 3 years, 500, the next 3 years, to have trained, equipped, and raised 3,000. That's our goal. 3,000 every 6 months. 500. It's an online program. 70% delivered online. Balance of 30%. You'll do it in different centers so that you meet and then you have community involvement. So if you're looking at minimum of 3,000 to 5,000 people coming out and forming an alumni that is strong and that is formidable, then you can begin to see change happen. Without that critical mass, it's going to be difficult. So if I was going to hazard a guess, I would say this is an 8 to 10 year journey. But part of our measurement criteria for success is that by 2023, we would like to see some of our alumni running for office. So that is a key measurement criteria for us. How many of them run for office 2023? Then how many of them actually win? And we want to see that number growing for the next elections by 2027 and so forth. So it's not to come and for you, and then we want them to run for office also at the local government level. We want to see, because we want to elevate. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you for that. Awesome. Yes. I hope it does sound awesome. It's aggressive, but we're determined to do it. 500. We already have quite a number. Over 200 people that are requesting for the prospectus, and we haven't even started talking about it. We haven't started pushing it. So by the time over the next 1 month, we're hoping that we'll have a significant number of people applying, and it's going to be based on merit and your track record. So there are we're looking for leadership qualities. We're looking for a lot of young people being part of this. And we are going to look for a lot of women to be part of this as well. So that we're going to a lot of women groups to look for them by invitation, to invite some of them to be part of the first class and future classes. So we can by invitation and by application is how you can come into the school. But I think I see an 8-year journey. But it's going to be. Is
it fee paying the school?
No, it's not. Yes, it is. Others are free. Okay. It's not free. It's going to
fee paying.
Yes, it is. It's fee, but it's going to be scholarships, and for those, because if you can't pay, we're not going to say you can't come in, but we're going to get funding for those who are not able to pay for everything. But we like you to be able to contribute a percentage, because what you don't pay for, you don't value.
You don't value, yeah, because there might be some grassroots people really who have some.
We're taking care of the grassroots. Yeah. The SPG, I should mention this, is important, so just pay attention. It's a franchise model. We call it a franchise model. So we want every one of our graduates, when they graduate, they will go and set up a mini SPPG in their local government. So they will now begin to influence the people around them. They will begin to elevate knowledge base of the electorate. They will begin to empower. They will take responsibility. So, of course, they're not going to be able to teach all the things, but we're designing a package that they can go and deliver at the local level. So that becomes like a multiplier. It has a multiplier effect. One person can go and train 40, 50, 100. Right? So we may have trained 500, 1,000, but by the time they go out, you're multiplying that by 5, 10, 15, 20, 100. And so that is it. And we will equip them, we'll give them the content, and they will shape the mindset of those that are at the community level and at the grassroots. That's how we want to reach the grassroots. We don't want to pretend that somebody who, because there's a minimum qualification, BSc, BA, or HND. We don't want to pretend that if you're primary school, that you can come to our school. No, we can't. And we don't want to pretend that if you just got what is JS3 or SS3. You can't. No, you cannot, because we are raising leaders, a new set of leadership. Yeah, but we will
Education
now.
is a key part.
It's
Minimum
key.
education is a key.
It's key. It's key. So we're not going to downplay that.
Alero is must not lose steam. You must not lose steam.
You have to pray for us.
You can hear me. Read my lips. Read my. You must.
Join us. Mish Automobile. Join us. Powerful initiative. God bless. I can read your lips. I can read your lips.
Honestly, this is a great move, if I may say so, and we need it, and it's revolutionary, but I've seen a lot of great moves.
No.
So I've seen a lot of great moves. I've seen a lot of great moves.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I've seen them and it's painful.
I know. So let me now ask you some questions.
We can hear somebody having some.
Okay, go ahead.
That you have seen. What advice will you give us?
That's why I asked some pointed questions. I said, who is the driver?
Yes.
You answered me here and there. Then, but one of the nicest things I've heard is that there is a CEO whose great move somebody dies. You know, Jerry Rollins said that they were asking me, why did I go to the bush and lead that revolution in Ghana? He says, before I started that move, I had died. I was ready to die because I knew that I might go there and not come back. So it wasn't difficult for me because I had died. You know, after a while, when he retired and they were threatening his life, he said shouting that they're threatening my life. Oh. So Ghanaians are laughing at him that, but we thought you said you had died. He said, but you thought you said you had died. He said, don't mind those people, they are crazy people. He said, I had died before I read that move because I knew that I might die and I was ready to die. And he says, Ghana was worth dying for. And it was echoing my voice because sometimes when I finish preaching, I say Nigeria is worth dying for. I say I'm ready to die for Nigeria because every great move, somebody dies. Jesus Christ died for you to call yourself a Christian. Mandela died for South Africa to become what it became. Che Guevara died. You know, people don't remember the people that died. Even Hitler, as bad as you think he is, he died for the Germany that you see today, good or bad, because he drove them in a certain way and he encouraged their thinking. Yeah, he was a bit of an eccentric, no doubt. But
slightly crazy.
Slightly crazy. One of the challenges of Nigeria is that nobody's ready to die for Nigeria. So Nigeria is an orphan.
Some people died, though. What about the people who died on the 20th?
Yes. But they didn't realize that they were going to die, you see. They didn't. If you ask them that morning, don't go there, they will shoot you, they would have stayed at home.
They will have said, no, they cannot. That they will have denied, they will have said impossible. How can they shoot us? But don't have any don't have any weapons, we don't have anything. We are sitting.
We carry the flag.
We're carrying the flag.
I had warned them, to be honest, the one or two who spoke to me. I said by Monday or Tuesday, you will have to decide what you're doing because I know my people. I didn't really think they would kill anybody, but I knew they were going to come after them. I knew because I have seen this thing happen again and again in Nigeria. And they were looking at me and saying, are you sure? I said, you can't continue on the streets 10 days. They've even indulged you, these people, they've indulged you. And they've said to you, they've answered your 5 problems. They've told you, yes. They don't do that. So you people have 2 days or 3 days more on that place. They didn't quite get what I was saying.
Yes.
I said, where are your leaders? They say we don't have any leaders. I said, okay,
Ah.
it doesn't work like that. You understand?
Yeah.
So we every great move, somebody dies. And it's not die by accident. You die because you are prepared to die before you leave home. When you leave your house, you tell your wife, if you see me, you see me. If you don't see me, you don't see me. You know, you need to watch this Moremi play that they did about this Moremi woman in Ife. She told her husband, I'm going. He says, I'm going, oh, I'm going.
Right.
You may see me, you may not see me. So that is one of the challenges of Nigeria. People die accidentally, no doubt. But somebody or a few people must get up and say, if I perish, I perish. Not very many people will do it. Even talk to people, even on this platform. Then you say to somebody, run for office. They say, no, 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 no. Let somebody else run. Who will run? Who will run?
Who will pay the price?
Who will pay the price? Who is ready? And they say, I have a young wife, I have young children. No, they go back. So if you are not ready, you know these Chinese people or Japanese people, the Gurkhas or so, you can't. They don't lose battles, because when they get up to go to battle, the Gurkhas or Gakas, whatever I call it, they are all dead. They say we're not coming back alive. So before you kill them, they'll kill themselves, because you can't take them out alive in the battlefield. And that is what we're looking at in Nigeria. If we don't have the 1 or 2 or 3 people who really are ready to pay that price and lead a movement, we are wasting our time. Because if when the guns start blazing and people run back home, the battle is lost. By the time they threaten you, they threaten your economy, they threaten your bank account, they threaten your business. You know, a friend of mine came to visit me the other day. We were talking. I said, what are you going to say? Me, I'm a businessman. Do I have to? So he lost that conversation with me. Another friend on the phone too said exactly the same thing. Complain. I said, okay, what are you going to do? Say, me, I'm still a businessman. I told him to get off my phone. More or less. I said, you should stop this. I said, I don't want to hear this conversation. He'd never heard me talk like that before. He was taken aback. Calm, cool, Pastor Itwa. But the minute he said that I'm a businessman, I said, so why are you bothering me complaining at 12 midnight? I'm talking. And then you tell me you're a businessman. I said, get off my phone. Let's end this conversation. He said, hey, he didn't find me like that. But then he had lost me. I just switched off. And I was just polite to him for the rest of the conversation. People talk. They grumble, they complain. They don't want to get involved.
And it's time.
It's time. It's time. We can't all sit on the fence.
Time. If we the new Nigeria, if we want to see a transformed Nigeria, we have to pay the price. And it will come with, and some of us will have to die.
And we have to.
I'm telling you. There's no nation that is without pain and adversity. None.
There's none. Even America, people died. Even in the UK, people died. The French Revolution, people died. I mean, Mandela told these people, it's a move that, okay, I would like to live and see you. But if I'm going to die, I'm prepared to die. And for 27 years, he died.
He did.
So it's just the grace of God that brought him out of that place. A few people went in and never came back alive. I saw a guy in South Africa, they pulled out his entire teeth. My guide, when I went to visit that Robben Island, they pulled out his entire teeth in that crisis. So we need to really, really begin to think and be ready for these things. But let me open the floor for other people to ask a few questions. And I'd like us to end in the next 15, 20 minutes. Maybe I've over-talked on this platform. Normally, I don't talk. I just, but you see, you asked me a question and you provoked me. Every great move, somebody must be ready to die. If people are not ready, we're wasting our time in Nigeria. That's all. A lot of people have gone almost there. Then at the last minute, they pull back. And then the people start laughing again. They pull back. Then they pull back. If you talk to my brother Asri, he'll tell you his own experience too. with Nadeco, with concerned professionals, all that he had. And I warned him when he was going into those things. I said, some people are not serious. He said, no. They really bust his balloon in those different. And that's the challenge of people here on this platform. If somebody is not ready to face the bullets, we are not going to get Nigeria out of the hands of the people, because some of them who hold Nigeria down, they themselves are ready to die to keep what they have. You must know that, because that is their livelihood, that is their source, that is everything. So they're not going to let it go. You cannot enter a strong man's house just anyhow. No, the Bible says so. So that's part of the thing. That's why I asked those questions. Who is driving it? And then you comforted me by saying you have a CEO. The CEO has to be a great guy. He has to be committed. He must not be working for money. Yes, you are going to pay him and hopefully pay him well, but he must not be working for money. He must be determined that even if he looks behind him and you guys are no longer there, he's going to go ahead with this thing.
Yes.
He's still going to go ahead. If you don't have that kind of guy as your CEO, you have the wrong guy. Because if he's working for money, he's wasting.
You know what? You know the good thing about this guy? At 28 or so, he ran for office.
No problem. But I've seen people who run for office waste everybody's time.
He has run for office.
There are people in Nigeria who ran for office, they wasted everybody's time. They just ran for office so that they can negotiate at the end of the day. See all sorts of things in Nigeria. This Nigeria, a great country.
I'm glad you ended with that. No, but it's good. We're going to. And we mustn't forget as well that some of the people that I mentioned, they have paid the price for Nigeria. Obi Secretary has paid the price. She's done. Remember, I don't know that you remember that walk that she did where she was the only one. I said nobody should come and they were pointing guns at her. I don't know. I remember in Abuja, I think it was about a year or so ago. Aisha Yesufu has paid. I mean, they've threatened her so many times, and I could. There are quite a number that it's like enough is enough now. We can't continue like this. So let's see. Let's. I pray like everybody else that this is one move that will become a mighty movement where
by God's grace,
like a snowball effect, just snowballing that will get its own steam. And there's something about timing. You know how timing can be critical. How would have known that NSAS will happen? So when you now talk about empowered electorate and educate, nobody, you're not asking, what are you talking about? NSAS was already a declaration of saying we are ready for change. You understand? And then look at the number of conversations that are happening around constitutional reform. There are webinars now that, so when we say constitutional reform, we don't have to be defining what we are saying. There are enough people, voices out there that are saying, if we do not do this, it fails the nation. So I sense that this is the time. You know how great movements happen at particular, this is a turning point.
It is, and we must seize this moment. We mustn't lose this moment.
I agree.
Because people are also praying. I've never seen this level of prayer for Nigeria before. It's amazing. All over the place, people are praying. Even in Canada, everywhere, almost on an hourly, minute by minute, somebody somewhere is praying for Nigeria. It's never been like this before. So I think even God himself is about to do something. And that's why I really salute what you guys are doing. I hope I have an opportunity to engage as many of you or collectively to see what we can do, because I'm really, really passionate about this Nigeria project. And this is one of the things that I think we need to try and drive it and other things. The other question I'll ask you, but maybe that would be offline, especially what you guys are thinking towards 2023, if there's any plan, but I think we should probably take that offline. Well, let's open the floor and see if anybody has any questions either on Instagram or on Zoom. There are quite a few questions and comments. Somebody says, okay, they need information as to being a member. I've told you to go to the website.
Yes, the website, and then you can click on join, and you can go to the page for the school, and you can click on request for prospectus.
Okay, very good. Okay, somebody was going back to the castration of the civil service in 1976. Do you have any opinion on that? I think your dad was head of service about that time, or he was one of those retired also.
No,
Was
he
retired
didn't. No, his friends were retired. That was his pain. He wasn't. He wasn't. Yeah, he had to watch. He had to watch that happen to some of his
closest
colleagues.
people.
Yes, yeah. It was tough. It was. I remember that time so vividly. Because you know, we had, you know, the leader we had was a bit yeah.
Okay.
So he wasn't affected, but his colleagues were, his close friends were.
Adenuga says we need to take Nigeria's destiny into our hands. Any questions? Checks. Are you? Who is on the iPhone? Somebody's on the iPhone. I can't see your name. Fatima Wali-Abdurrahaman. Do you have any comments, Fatima, my sister? You want to ask a question? Okay, Fatima, come up and ask your question. I've been asking Fatima to run for office, by the way. Let me expose you.
Oh, my dear brother, I'm asking her to run for office.
I've been asking her, and also her sister. Both of them, I've been begging them.
To run for office.
They will answer me.
They have no choice. They have no choice.
I even call her Obama because I feel that she's an Obama somehow. Fatima, great to see you. God bless you. You know I love you very much.
See you, my
and my children.
Yes,
I know. We've been on this journey since Obama was in 2008. I think it was your mother's funeral.
We can't hear you, Fatima.
No, we're more than classmates, Alero. Alero, he's calling us classmates.
Yes, we're classmates now.
We're more than classmates. I'm sure that's the point I'm trying
to do. Oh, you mean classmates? We are like sisters, oh.
Oh, you are sisters. I know you are sisters.
Like sisters, oh. We've done holidays together. She's my parents' third daughter.
I know, and you don't know to think. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Fatima.
Okay, so I will just
don't expose us.
I shouldn't go there.
Exactly.
Fatima, what's your comment?
Okay, so now I just wanted to make 3 comments. Alero, congratulations. I knew you've always had it in you, and you have my support. I just wanted to make 3 comments about the 3 pillars that you talked about. The first thing, though, before I say that, is I think we need to address the division in this country. You know, I think it's when you look at things like Black Lives Matter and systemic racism in America, we have a serious problem in this country that I don't think we are sensitive to. And at a point, we have to decide, are we one country or not? Because, and I'll just make one example from what I see on social media. One example is when NSAS happened, right, there was a lot of noise. Right now, I don't know whether the noise is on the other side, but here, what we are hearing is how many people got slaughtered in Maiduguri, but we're not seeing the same passion. We're not seeing it. And so it's almost like, oh, this happened to us. The other side is let's watch them. And then the other side, it happens to them. So I think that's one of the biggest problems. I think, first of all, we need to have in Nigeria before we can even talk. Now, and I say that from someone on the other side of the divide. And even if you look at this platform, you can see what I mean. But I'm not going to label that thing. Now, and it's nobody's fault. I'm not saying it's anybody's fault, but I think we need to have an intentional way of looking at the ethno-religious problems in this country and coming together. And this is from someone that practically grew up in the Ayida household. That's why I said we're more than friends. You know, it was my home, even when Mr. and Mrs. Ayida were not there. I used their home in Lagos, in London. So that's how close we were. Their home was my home. But anyway, so the first thing you talked about was the voter education, right? And buying of votes. Now, the one comment I want to make about that is that if you buy votes, it's because you can only buy things that has a market, right? Now, when you give a Nigerian 100 naira for his vote, he's not being corrupt. It means his next meal or his exercise book or the cotton wool that he's wife is going to use in the hospital. That's what that 100 naira means. And when someone gives him 100 naira and another gives him 10, he will take the 10 because he'll end up with 110 naira. So the point I'm making is that there's no correlation between what they're buying or what they're selling and what their reality is. The reality is they have a total disconnect from leadership and government. So in this voter education thing, it's not only just about education, it's also about economic empowerment and also for them to see, you understand? So in America, you give someone $100, it means his next six-pack. He's guaranteed education, he's guaranteed health, he's guaranteed a roof, or mostly, you understand? So for him, that $100 means let me go and get a beer. For Nigerian, it means let me go and buy meat for my soup for tomorrow. So that's one point I want to make about the voter education, that it's more than about voter education. The second thing you talked about was grooming of leaders and the qualification to lead. And that is something that I also just worry about. In every other sector, there is a bar. You want to be a doctor, you go to medical school. You want to be a pilot, you go to fly. Yet the most important office in this country is free for all. And that is a problem. And that is what I see. In the days when we had the parliamentary system, there was some sort of gateway where you had to be a member of parliament, like Alero said, even to be a member of parliament. I just learned that today. There was a process. And we need to find a way to train who is going to be the next leader. Now, in that case, the comment I want to make is that this thing we call our democracy, first of all, we copied and pasted. We copied and pasted a system of people who had gone through what we are going through. So if democracy is about choice, right? You look at these people, what do they choose? They choose tax cuts. They choose abortion or gay rights. They choose nothing that is critical. In Nigeria, when you hear a person campaigning, you know, abroad, when they're campaigning, they talk about these issues of gay rights and all those things that really don't matter to the dignity of life. But when you hear a Nigerian campaigning, he's talking about health, about shelter, about food. These are basic dignities of life. These are things that are given, and every single politician is promising you exactly the same thing. So where's the choice? So the point I'm trying to make is that we don't even have those dignities that gives us the luxury of choice. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not asking for the military to come back. I don't have this is one of the things I want us to explore when you're looking at this second part of, it's the constitutional reform. Sorry, I've jumped the gun. When you're looking at that, we need to develop a system that we're familiar with. In the whole of Africa, right, our intrinsic DNA is leadership is either by force or by accident of birth. That's our intrinsic DNA. That is what we know. Once you leave it open to people, it's mayhem, unless it is managed. And if you look at the successful democracies or so-called democracies in Africa, the ones that are successful, like the Rwandas and the Botswanas, it's not free for all. It's managed by a few people. They know exactly who is running and they manage it. And so the point I'm trying to make is if we have a system that is in our DNA, whereby we have this system where a few decide, but the application of that leadership is democratic. So if you take, for example, an African chief, he gets there by accident of birth, okay? But when he gets there, he cannot make a decision without his counselors. He can't make a decision without everybody come. In fact, the voice of the chief is not heard. The voice of the king is not heard. It's the voice of everybody else. And when it rests at somewhere, then he puts his voice to it. So I'm saying that when we're looking at this constitutional reform, can we look at something that is African, not copy and paste? Thank God the democracy in America is correcting itself, you know, but I'm just saying that we as Africans, we have a history, we have civilizations that are thousands of years old. We need to do research on that and see how it works. Things started falling apart when we started copying. So this is my second, so I guess I've talked about it. I've talked about the choice of leaders and how we're going to do that. I've talked about grooming the leaders, and I just wanted to make comments to say these are the areas that I think we should be looking at. And also more also is to look at who is Nigeria? What is Nigeria? Yes. What is Nigeria? And it's in every sector. people were like two different countries. So are we going to say, are we two different countries? People talk about restructuring. When you say, okay, let's talk about restructuring, you talk to 10 different people, you have 10 different opinions of what restructuring means, depending on what part of the country he comes from, depending on what religion he believes in. So let's talk about the real things that unite us. Let us see our diversity as a strength. Let us all come. I'm an architect by profession.
You've asked everybody's question because we're running out of time.
I need a plumber. I need all these things. I can't build the house by myself. So if I can collaborate with the structural engineers and the electrical and the quantity surveyors, why can't we all collaborate to build this house called Nigeria?
Thank you, Fatima. Why not? Thank you.
Thank you, Fatima. Thank you very much.
Can you see why Fatima has to run for office?
No, Fatima must run for office. And Fatima, I'm going to bring you on this platform, and you have no excuse. You gave me excuse before, but I'm not going to take your.
That's why you have tried.
Because I see you have a lot to say. I'm sorry, we have sort of run out of time.
In fact, the interesting thing is Mr. Ayida
I promised myself I'll try not to extend this program beyond 6:30. So that we can,
okay, so
we're going to bring Alero back sooner than later.
Can I say one small thing?
Only one thing, Fatima. You are coming back on the program yourself. Who wants Fati? Who wants Fati? Who wants
We want Fati. We want Fati.
We want Fati. So Fati,
we want Fati. We want Fati.
We want Fati. We want Fati.
Now the point I'm
trying to make, want Fati.
30 years ago, or 30 years ago, the political arguments were between me and Mr. Ayida. Alero used to look at me and shake her head. Me and her father used to have debates till thy kingdom come. Do you remember that?
How can I forget?
And look at you today and look at where I am.
Fatima, thanks a lot. We need to go now. Alero, thank you very, very much for everything today. We have learned a lot, and I'm sure that a lot of people on this platform are going to join Fix Politics and so on and so forth and be part of it. Like I said, I look forward to being able to engage with the group at some stage and see how we can work together and collaborate or whatever. And we're going to have Fatima also on the platform very soon. And I'm sure that
Mariam wants to say hello.
Mariam, you are hiding there. Mariam, I told you to run for office. You refused. So hello, Mariam. Mariam, you have to run for office. And I know you are very passionate also. I am going to bring you on this platform also. You have no. Okay, let's learn from you and your experience working in the presidency the last 3, 4, 5 years. So don't dodge, okay? Mariam used to play hockey against me when she was in Queen's College. I can never forget her. Next week, we're having, ironically and incidentally, Yemi Adamolekun of Enough is Enough is going to be our guest. NSAS and the state of the nation. NSAS and the state of the nation. It's going to be a real wrap on that day. Yemi and I are quite close. She's spoken in many places. I know her opinions, and she's part of Fix Politics Nigeria. So she's going to be here next week. So 5 o'clock next week, let's all try and make it a date. It's getting warmer and warmer. Fatima, thank you very much for your lovely contributions. We're going to work on it and make Nigeria one nation. Alero, God bless you. God look after you. God bless your treasures. My heart is with everyone, and God will be there for Nigeria. Thank you very much. God bless everyone. Have a good weekend and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. Bye. Bye.
Yes. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We still have not yet seen what will likely be another blip of surge following the travel and the congregation during Thanksgiving. Now we're approaching the Christmas season. The effect of Thanksgiving is going to be realized a few weeks from now. Travel season. Thank God I wasn't home. It might not have been pretty. My daughter taking care of this. So she's like, Carol, we put this together. We had to put this together. Long story short, all the parts weren't there. Something was damaged, something was something else. So they had to take that back. And now we're waiting. But that was the situation that came to my mind when I heard that so peace and get out. And I believe with all of my heart that the only reason why Jesus could calm the storm that everybody else was afraid of was because he had peace on the inside. You can't give away what you don't have. You cannot give away what you don't have. But I want to tell you what, if you can say peaceful, or if I can say peaceful in any situation, it loses control. The absolute and immediately we have the upper hand. Because when you say peaceful, you can hear from God, you can be led by the Spirit, you can have raises a number of questions because our correspondents around the country are showing us people not wearing masks in many places. Not the damage is done. They have followed the one. NBC was dedicated a copy of the latest White House coronavirus task force report. Distributed states. And they're gonna stand up straight and take off their burden. But a lot of the things have to come from somebody making their mind up. I'm not gonna live like this anymore. Am I pushing anybody to that point yet? I'm not gonna live like this anymore. I'm not gonna live like this anymore. Now remember, that doesn't mean your circumstances are gonna change.